Hello lovely people, welcome to the Geek Cupboard. I am Penge and welcome to Imperator Rome, and I am looking forward to this an awful lot. I think this looks great and we're going to have some good fun with this game. So what is Imperator Rome all about? If you do not know, it is a grand strategy game, and it's made by Paradox, and they've made quite a lot of grand strategy games in their time. They've made things like Stellaris and Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis, and Imperator Rome is the next one to be released. Now, as I record this, the game is due to be released tomorrow, so that is the 25th of April, and if you're interested, I've put a link down below in the video description to the Steam store page if you want to go and check it out and read all about it and wishlist it and all that kind of stuff. But, to my great surprise, we got a key to this from the developers over at Paradox. So thank you very much, Paradox folks. That was a lovely surprise. I was not expecting it, but there we go. So thank you very much, Paradox people. That's very kind of you. So some of you might be wondering, what is the difference between a regular strategy game and a grand strategy game? Why is this one grand and other ones are not? And I don't know if there's an official definition. I'm not really sure. But if I had to define it myself, I would say that a grand strategy game has many numbers and statistics everywhere. There's so many things. Everything has values. There's so many numbers. When you open a menu, all the numbers just sort of pour out all over the place. There's so many numbers and values and metrics and statistics and stuff all over the place in Imperator Rome. And that's good because it allows you, if you want to micromanage things. So you might be really interested in the military side. You might go really micromanage the military side of things. But if you don't micromanage your economy, for example, if you don't want to sort of dig down into that because you're not interested, that's fine. It kind of just ticks over quite nicely. It will work, but you can make things more efficient, or I imagine you can absolutely mess things up catastrophically. I'm sure we'll find that out soon if you start micromanaging and do it all wrong. So that's what I think kind of the difference is. There's just so much going on. It's very big. So there's an awful lot of actual sort of game in there. There's a lot of screens and a lot of things to look at, a lot going on, and there's numbers attached to pretty much everything. So that is what I think the difference is between a grand strategy game and a regular strategy game. That's my take on it anyway. So I think what we'll do is we shall just dive into the map and have a look round, and we'll discuss, what's going on with the game and all that different stuff. But firstly, just before we do that, just want to draw your attention to this guy here. So this guy here, in his fancy pants chariot, I mean, it looks like it's made of gold and it's been pulled by 4 white horses, and there's all sort of lovely sort of stuff fluttering down on him, and it looks all very impressive. He's got a staff, la-di-da. But look at his face. What's going on here? Either this is a mask, or he's been lying around his villa and he hasn't put his sun cream on his face. I mean, that is a very red face. What's going on there? I'm going to hope for his sake it's a mask, because that sunburn, that is going to be really painful. And that's not what you want on your big day, is it? You don't want your big day with your fancy horses and chariot to be ruined by a big red face. But there you go. Right, let's go straight into the map and we'll have a look at what Imperator Rome is all about. So say hello to the game map and say hello to the 1st of October 450 ab urbe condita. Oh yes, I am speaking Latin and I don't really know what I'm on about, but thankfully the tooltip has saved me. So yes, the current year is 450 AUC. Now, yes, that looks like a V, but the Romans did use with pointy bits on for some reason. So, yes, it's 450 ab urbe condita, which means from the founding of the city. And it tells you just there, so it's a dating convention commonly used by scholars in reference to Rome and Roman history, and establishes UAC 1 as the year of the founding of Rome. So we are 450 years after the founding of Rome, because of course they can't use BC and AD like we do now, because at this point in time they didn't know that in 304 years time a certain fella was going to be born and was going to be kicking around that was going to have quite an influence on the world. They didn't know that was going to happen. So this is the time frame that we're going to use, and you will see this in the corner. So it'll be 450 going up AUC, and I think if we roll over in the corner it does tell us a sort of the equivalent date that we can understand. So it's 304 BC in our calendar and 450 ab urbe condita in the Roman kind of reference calendar thing, which I quite like. I like the fact they've put that in there, so you're not just going, yeah, that's it, it's whatever BC, that's fine, because yeah, that wouldn't have existed at this point in history. So yes, that's quite a nice touch, I suppose. Okay, let's take a quick nosy at the game map before we dive straight into the game itself. Number one, the game map is really pretty. Look at it, all these different sort of little coloured nations here. It all looks so pretty. It's like a patchwork quilt. And number two, the game map is huge. It's so vast. There's so much going on. So from up here in kind of, in orbit almost, we can see that we've got Western Europe over here. So Spain, France, Portugal, we've got the UK. We've got kind of the southern tip of the Scandinavian countries in Denmark. We've got Northern Africa coming through here. You've got Rome and Greece and all that kind of lot there. Then you've got Egypt. And coming down here, we've got the Middle East, and a lot of that is impassable, but it's still a fairly big chunk of land. Then through here, you've got this bit here, the Seleucid Empire, this blue empire. That is utterly enormous. That is huge. It's just so vast. So that's a great big empire. And then it comes all the way over here through to possibly bits of sort of China almost over here, and then down here into India as well. It's just huge. It's just such a huge map. And then when you zoom in, it gets even more detailed. And the zooming in is very smooth. I like this. So here we go. Let's go down and look at Etruria. Next to Rome, let's have a little nosy at Etruria. So it's just this purple place here. But as we zoom in, we begin to see a few more details. And there's clouds and stuff, which is very lovely. So all these places here, in between these dotty borders, are all cities. So each of these cities has its own different population. It's got its own different sort of trade good that it produces. And, it's doing its sort of own little thing. And you can micromanage these. They can have different buildings in them. They can have training camps and markets and all that lot. So all these things here, this is the city of Luna. This is the city of Pisna. This is the city of Varda Valathri. They're all individual things. And they're all under one banner there of the Etrurians. But you can zoom right in. You can just zoom so far down. There's individual little trees and buildings and coastlines and fields with little sort of stone walls around them. And it's just very pretty, and it's so smooth. I'm amazed at how smooth the transition is from up on high, up here in orbit, down to, sort of not quite ground level, but we're very nearly at ground level. I'm amazed. It's very, very lovely. So across the bottom of the screen here, the game is sort of suggesting a few nations that we might want to play as. So number one is obviously Rome. I mean, the clue is in the name of the game. We could play as Rome. That comes up as easy because, they've got loads of power and resources and what have you. We could also play as Egypt. They come up as easy. I mean, they've got a lot of terrain going on down there. They've got an awful lot of stuff happening in Egypt. A lot of it is desert, but they've got so many places. There's loads of places in Egypt. So that could be good. They come up as easy. So Rome and Egypt are easy. Then you go along to Carthage. Carthage, you've got quite a few bits along the sort of the northern African coast, got a little bit on the southern coast of Spain, and a few islands over there, which is lovely. We could play as Macedon over here. Now, the game blurb that came with the game key when Paradox sent it over did say the game is set around 10 years after the death of Alexander the Great. So I think he was from Macedon, and he kind of united a load of countries. And I think at this point, they've all kind of fallen apart. So all his hard work trying to unite stuff and get everybody all working together to make a great empire, now he's dead, has all collapsed because everybody's just basically fighting and punching each other in the noses and being generally horrible and unpleasant to each other. And I would assume that these are the states that have now sort of collapsed. They're not under his control anymore, and they've all collapsed, and everybody's just infighting. So that could be quite good. Macedon could be quite interesting. And then we've got the hard choices. We've got the Seleucids over here, the giant blue empire, which is just huge. And we've got Phrygia, which are the guys in the middle here. Now, we could be any of these. We could choose these, but that's not what you're limited to. You can pick any of these things on the map pretty much. If it's got a name and a colour on it, you can pick it. So here, who are these guys? These are the Olbians. I don't know anything about the Olbians or this part of the world. I've got no idea. I have not a clue. I mean, their city there is called Hippolau. I mean, I like that because it's got the word hippo in. And also, the guy here has an eye patch, which is exciting. Oh, no, that's Phrygian. Hang on. No, let's go over to here. So this guy, he doesn't have an eye patch. I like him a bit less. Also, he's called Agatharchides Perthid. Crikeys. Okay, wow. So yeah, we could, if we wanted to, just become these guys. So we've become this particular nation. They've got, 4 cities? It tells us over here in the little sort of breakdown bit. So 4 cities, 15 pops, which is 15 sort of units of population across their empire. And that's it. We could be those. And we could play a game as those if we wanted to. We could, create a story of the Olbians going and doing their Olbian things or whatever. We could go here. Who are those blue guys? We could pick these. I don't know who they are. They're the Daxians. We could just go and be the Daxians if we wanted. That's how the game works. And I find that amazing. So you can play as the great, big, exciting powers. You can go and play as Rome, or you could just go and play as someone teeny tiny and kind of just make your own little story, which I quite like that in this game. It's not sort of forcing you to be a giant power. It's saying, yeah, do what you like. Play a massive thing and go on a massive conquest. Play a smaller thing and do what you like. Have a go. It's fun. It's just a game and it's for fun. So I think we need to pick who we want to play as. I've got a bit of a plan. I've been looking over here at the United Kingdom, and of course, it's not united at all. There's all these different tribes and all these different groups and factions, all vying for power and land and territory and all that kind of stuff. I think it's fairly clear that our mission needs to be to unite the kingdom once again. We need to make sure that everybody is flying the same flag, rather than having all these different sort of warring factions and tribes. Let's get everybody fighting together, and then when the Romans do come knocking, because that's kind of what happened in the actual real life, or if anyone else comes knocking, if someone decides to invade, we can stand as one and say, no, get off our island please, clear off, go back across the sea and go and do your horrible stuff elsewhere. We shall not be moved. So yes, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to take on one of these tribes and we are going to unite the kingdom. And that of course includes all of Scotland, because there's bits up here which actually isn't sort of claimed yet. There's cities that belong to nobody. Ireland as well. We need to get all of this stuff. We need to have all this stuff with us as well because we want that. That's over here. So yeah, we'll take this off. This is the Northern Ireland sort of bit here. So we're going to have to go through and get all of these and unite everybody. I think that is an excellent goal. And to do this, we are going to play as the Coritani. From Coritania, these guys here in what is now the East Midlands of England. Because I grew up here and I am from here. I live here. So the chance to actually play where I live and where I grew up just sounds very, very exciting. I like this idea. So they've got this sort of territory over here. So if we have a look over here, this is what their setup is like. So population-wise, they've got 14 cities. They've got 7 cities in Coritania. They've got 5 cities in Dubunia. And they've got 2 cities in Cornovia. Now, I don't quite know how that works yet. I've not kind of got that deep into the game. I've played it a little bit. I've played as much as I could, as much as time allowed. But I think it's because he is the tribal chief of many, many places. So he is looking after lots of other cities that aren't necessarily under Coritani, whatever his control. So I think that's how it works. We've got 14 cities, 54 population, and they're split across these sort of 4 types. We'll come to that later. The only thing is, and I really want to start here, because this is where I live. I'm from here, and the capital is Rattay, which is now Leicester. And that's where I grew up. I spend many, many hours in Leicester. So yes, it'd be very, very exciting to go over there and, you know, build up the city of Leicester and make it all sort of powerful again. The only thing about this is that our leader, who is very, very influential in terms of all the stats and sort of stuff that we get in the game, he's rubbish. he's just terrible. He's even got a bad moustache. So these are here his stats. So he's got 2 martial ability, so 2 military ability. He's got 5 civic ability. He's got 5 religious power. And this is absolutely terrible. He has no charisma. This is sort of oratory power. So this is how sort of influential he is in terms of when he speaks. He's got 0. He's got absolutely nothing. He's just some sort of mute who just can't talk or do anything. So yeah, it says charisma is a character's ability to charm and persuade others. And we have 0. It's like talking to a tree or a rock or something, which to be fair, these people might all do because they're all tribesmen who are all druids. But I mean, you know, that's terrible. That is awful. Military power of 2, that's not very good. Although that is modified by the fact that he gets down 1, because he's a scholar, but then he's aggressive, so it goes back up 1. He's a very aggressive scholar. Give me a book now, that kind of thing. These 2 are not so bad. He's kind of got a bit of sort of civic power, that's what finesse is, and a bit of religious power, but overall he's quite terrible. But the setup here is pretty good. They've got a good number of cities, they've got quite a lot of population, and they've got some good citizens. So I think we're going to start over here in Coritania and play as the Coritani and see if the mighty East Midlands can take over the United Kingdom and just see how we get on. I mean, do we need to do anything else? Will we go across the oceans here, across the seas to France, maybe a little nosy round here? Now, I do realise, of course, that this game is called Imperator Rome. And there's all these massive, powerful nations in, like it recommends, like Rome and Egypt, all the exciting things we can do. And we're going over here to play as essentially a bunch of sort of, well, druids, a bunch of druidy kind of tribespeople who are banging rocks together and stuff. But that's the wonder of this game. You can do that if you want to. And do you know what? We're going to, because we are going to unite the UK or we're going to die trying. I suspect you're probably the latter, but do you know what? Let's have a go. And the game has begun proper, and now you can bear witness to the many, many, many stats there are in this game. There's so many numbers, which makes it a grand strategy game. So let's go across the top. This is our sort of basic sort of bar of useful things. So treasury, little plus up there means it's going up, which is good. We've got 84.59 kind of currency, I guess it's gold, but monies, and we're going up by 2.28 monies each month, which is good. So that's nice. So we get a little bit in taxes. We don't have any in commerce because we don't do any trading, and we pay a bit in wages, which is for sort of people. So yeah, we're paying for our sort of council, our government, if you like. This here is manpower. That's how many people there are available to make armies and replenish armies in a week and all that kind of stuff. This is your military power. You can use that to spend it on military things like improvements and sort of policies and things. This is your civic power. You use that to do mostly it's kind of technology stuff. So you get these technologies that can change things, but I think you do other stuff with it as well. I can't quite recall right now, but that's got other uses. This is oratory power. This isn't the thing that our guy can't do. He's just rubbish. So all we do is we get a base of +2, and that's it. We just get +2 because these stats here, the military power, civic power, oratory power, and then religious power at the end here, are boosted by the stats of your leader. Now our leader is terrible. So at the moment, he just provides +1 to the military power. Whereas, because if we had a better leader, they would provide more. But because he's only got a military power of, hang on, let's find him, where is he? He's only got a martial skill of 2. He just provides +1. That's terrible. In terms of here, civic power, he's got 5, which then just produces a +2 bonus. Oratory power, he's just useless. Don't let him ever open his mouth, ever. He doesn't provide anything to that, so we just get the base sort of +2. And then religious power, he's sort of okay, so he gets +2. And that's it. He is terrible. We need to, can we just make him go? Can we banish him and just get somebody else in? He's just terrible. He's just rubbish. So yeah, we want him and his terrible moustache to sort of go away as soon as possible and get someone much better in, because he is going to hold us back quite a lot, particularly with oratory power, which is really, really useful because that's used for all sorts of things, all sorts of diplomatic things. And because, yes, he has no charisma. It is like talking to a tree. He's not going to really help much in that. But there we go. So that's the way he is. That's fine. We'll have to deal with that as we go. So there are all things across the top. This thing here is stability. This is important. This is basically how how stable and intact our nation is, and it goes from I think -3, which is really, really unstable. It's all going to fall apart, to 3, which is it's got super glue all over it, and you've really nailed it to the ground kind of thing. And it affects all different things. So we've got stability of 1. You can have tax increases, and your research goes quicker. You get more popular because your ruler's actually doing a good job, and all the loyalty of city-states goes up, and all that kind of stuff. These things here we don't have to worry about right now. That is aggressive expansion. That's how scary you are, I think is a great way to term it. So how frightening you are to other people. If you go and start stamping on other people and killing them, your aggressive expansion is going to go up, and everyone's going to go, oh, I don't like him much, he's a bit scary. And this thing here is your tyranny, which just shows basically how evil you are. So if you start doing evil things and doing stuff that's a little bit naughty, your tyranny will go up, and people don't really like that. But these two come down on their own anyway. And now there's a load of stuff for us to do. So yes, buckle up everybody. There's going to be quite a lot of stuff to do before we unpause the game and actually get time moving. So the first thing is I'm just going to take a look at our government. And our government is actually pretty good. So we are tribal. We're a tribal people. We're a settled tribe, which means that we're not really wandering around anymore. We're just here. We're quite happy with our lands just here. We're not roaming around sort of hunter-gathering. We've decided to stay here. We're doing some farming, all that kind of stuff. So we are a settled tribe. There are 2 other sort of government types. There's monarchies, and there's all different types of monarchies, and there are republics. And obviously these have all got their own sort of bonuses and negatives, all that kind of stuff. Like the republics, you have to have the Senate's approval to go and do stuff, and if you do stuff without the Senate's approval, people hate you and all that kind of stuff. So we are a settled tribe, which is lovely, and we have a government of these things. We've got arbitrators, an elder, a war chief, a bodyguard, a high priest, a wise one, a magistrate, and an apothecary, and they all do different things. These are all people that are in the game, and these people will grow old and they will die, or they will fight and get killed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, these people will change as the game goes on, because I think I read in the blurb that we got sent as well when they sent the key over, I think it said something like, this is not like Crusader Kings where you're quite tied to the people. This is more about the nation. This is more about the nation rather than actual individual sort of characters and families and stuff. Although there are families and stuff in the game. So, I mean, this person here, Arbitrator, she's got an oratory skill and orator skill of 8. The Elder has got 8. The War Chief and the Bodyguard have got that thing there, the sort of military finesse skill or whatever it is, as 10. I think that's the highest it can be. The High Priest and the Wise Ones have got faith or whatever it is, sort of, zeal is it of 9. So, religious power of 9. And these guys, 8 and 6. So let's see if we can get a better apothecary. Can we get a better apothecary in? So we can change people around if we so wish. So we can click that and have a look at what's going on in here. So by the look of it, no. You've got 6. The next highest person that we can choose is Galba Vodenosas, and you've only got 4. So, okay, that's absolutely fine. Yep, so we don't need to do anything with that. That's the most we're going to get. But yeah, the government seems very, very good. I think they're very, very good. They've got some good bonuses. And the higher these things are, they look after different bits. So, for example, here, aggressive expansion change comes down by minus 0.04, see, teeny tiny numbers, every month because she is in that job. And this here, where are we? Let's go down to, say, there, look. National tax is up 16% because she is the magistrate with a sort of civic power of 8. That's just excellent. That's just really, really good. I like that a lot. So our government are very, very good. It's just a shame our tribal chief is absolutely awful. There's also a centralization value. I think this is kind of how settled they are. It says that a measure of how settled a tribal nation is. So if it's negative, that means your tribe's still like walking about and moving around and settling in new places. So you get bonuses to migration and tribesmen. Whereas if you're more content with staying still and having, fixed cities, then you get bonuses to civilization, which is good, and freemen. They're a different type of thing. Again, that's something else we're going to have to look into. But yeah, we'll come to them shortly. So now let's go and have a look at some more of these things over here. One thing we can do is technology. So we can go into here and we've got ourselves some technologies to choose from. And they're in different categories. So these ones are military, these ones are civic, these are oratory, and these are religious. These are our researchers. And when this bar sort of gets all the way to the top and they do all their research, a new one of these will appear. So if the religious advances person gets that all the way to the end, a new invention of the religious type will appear and we can choose it if we want. However, you might notice up here, our research points are not very good. I don't know what we do for science. I think we just sort of smash rocks together and hope that stuff happens. I'm not entirely sure. Because you get research points from citizens, which is, again, something we're going to have to go and look at. And we haven't got many of them. We haven't got many citizens, so they're kind of the top tier of society, and they're not really around much. So we don't get much in the way of research going on, because, we're tribal as well. We'll probably try and work on this at some point, because it would be useful to start getting more inventions. But now we get to pick one. Well, in theory, we get to pick 2, but I'm only going to pick 1 for now. Got 200 points, and they cost 100 each. And there's quite a lot to choose from. I think let's go for property tax. That increases our national tax by 5%, which is lovely. So that is going to give us more monies, which is excellent. And we need more monies because at some point we're going to need to field an army because there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight. These ones here, I think, are retinues. Yeah. So these 2 clans belong to us. So the Inamichis and the Vodenosis. That's exactly... Oh, no, we're in England. Vodenosi. That's how you pronounce it. They are retinues. They're held by a person. They're held by an actual character in the game. So we can summon those to fight, if the character still likes us, I suppose. But they're not actually our troops, so we don't pay for them. But because we are a tribe, I think we pay a heck of a lot more in maintenance for actual troops. So we want to get as much money as we can get, because that is going to come tumbling down. As soon as we start building any kind of troops, we're going to be severely, severely hit in our pocket with the sort of, the ongoing maintenance of units. So we want to get that going up. And of course, we want gold to build things as well. We want gold to build other things, granaries and markets and all that kind of stuff. So let's get property tax. There is quite a lot of stuff in here. You can have stuff like that. Fabricate claim cost down 10%. That is very, very useful as well. We've got ourselves herbalism for tech speed up 5%. I don't think that's going to make much difference at the moment, to be honest. But yeah, I think property tax is going to be good for us right now. So an extra 5% tax, that is lovely. Yay, we've got 5% tax in. And of course that vanishes. And then we've only got 2 civic technologies to choose from. Right, and now, as you can see up here, we can afford a new invention. We're not going to spend that right now. We can do other bits and bobs as well. So now, again, more stuff to do. Please hold the line. We can call down an omen. So let's go and have a little look at what omens we can summon down from the gods. So, we're all druids. That's absolutely fine. That was kind of the thing around England and this part of the world at this point in time. We were all druids. You know, Stonehenge and all that kind of around here somewhere, isn't it? Stonehenge. But, you know, all that was built. So we're all druids. That's fine. I like that. Hello, sun. Hello, moon. All that sort of stuff. And everybody is a druid. 100% religious unit. There are no pops that are not druidic. So all the people are druidic, which is good. Because when we summon down these omens, they are druidic omens. So if there was somebody who wasn't a druid, they would just look up and whatever at the sky and go, don't really care. I don't care about that amazing thing that happened because I'm not a druid. So these are all good because everybody's a druid. Everybody's going to be in absolute awe of what we go for. And there's lots of different things we can choose from here as well. Discipline, that makes your armies fight better. Aggressive expansion change, that makes scariness come down, if you like. Commerce income is to do with trading. Now again, we are going to go down here. I was tempted by this, national population growth, up by almost a quarter. Right now, I think let's boost our tax. Let's go for the blessing of Senunos or Kenunos, possibly, for 1,825 days. That seems like a long time. And 200 of our religious power. So all of our religious power that we've got, that we're starting with, we're spending on boosting our national tax by 23.6%. Add that onto the 5% we just did, and that is a boost of almost 30% to our national tax that we're going to make, which is lovely. So yes, we shall do that. That is very welcome. So that's good. And now there's more stuff to do, of course there is. We've got trade routes. So we can have trade routes. Just to show you down here, by the way, this is the capital. This is Leicester, modern day Leicester, currently called Rattay, which is exciting over here. And so we go to here, there are trade routes. So we've got various goods that are coming in to our place. So for example here, Rattay has access to wood, vegetables, delicious vegetables, eat your greens kids, livestock, earthenware, which is good, and horses, which is nice because they belong to this sort of, this is where it gets a bit strange. This is, hang on, right, I need to get this right. Yes, that's a province. So this area here is a province, which is a collection of cities. But the provinces do not necessarily match with the actual countries. So for example, you can see there, we are up here. We go all the way up to here to this river, and we come down here along this border. But just here is a province, and we get stuff into our capital from down here in another country as the game sees it, but it's the same province, but it's a different country, which I'm not quite worked that out yet. I've not quite figured out how this kind of works. I think it's because, however, he is, if we go to him, hang on, can we do that? He is the governor of all these three places. Now, I don't know why we don't own all those three territories. He is the governor of Coritania, Dabunia, and Cornovia. So he's the governor of these three bits in the middle, but they're all three different countries, which is all a little bit confusing. I will admit to not fully understanding this bit yet. I'm sure it'll all make sense at some point soon, but it's baffled me right now. But yeah, so there we go. So we need to do some trade. So let's go to here and let's have a look what we can do. So we can bring some trade in to the capital, which would be useful. I like that idea. Now, ideally, we'd get iron. Iron would be really useful because then you can make heavy infantry, and heavy infantry means you can go and kill stuff. But unfortunately, we can't get any iron. There's nobody got any iron nearby. Now, you can only trade, I think, if you have surplus stuff. So if you've got a surplus, you can trade it away or keep it for yourself. You don't have to trade it away. You can keep it for yourself and you get a bonus. It says there, each surplus in the province, if you had a surplus of iron, you would get a local manpower boost of 5%. Surplus in the capital, you would get heavy infantry disciplines. They'd be better just at fighting. I think that's what discipline is, by 10%. But unfortunately, we don't have any iron. But who has iron? Who's got iron? Vardulia? Oh no, have they got iron? Does not have a surplus of iron. They do not have a surplus of iron. But do they have iron? Is that what that's telling me? Hang on, there's a thing down here somewhere. Where is it? Not that one. Trade goods map mode. There. Iron. I think if we click it. No, come out of that a sec. Right, hang on. I can make this work. I'll make it work. There you go. Iron. Oh, okay, right, fine. I don't know how the iron bit works. I thought if you clicked it, it showed everybody that had iron, but perhaps not. But these two here have got iron. That's very interesting. I like the idea of having this iron. I would like that for myself. I want some iron, please. Can I have all your iron from Corinium? Because I don't think... Is that part of my territory? No, it clearly is not. I can't get the iron from down there, which is a bit of a shame. So, okay, so fine. So we can't get iron. Now, could we go here and get ourselves some iron? Would it be a good idea to have a bit of a fight, go over here and use these guys, plus some other units we could train, and go in here and get ourselves some iron? That might be a good thing. And yes, that's what we use some of our oratory power for, to fabricate a claim on this so we can then take it. And then we can have iron, and that would be great, because iron means better troops, and better troops is always good. So, right, that doesn't help with trade, though, does it? Right, back to trade, bounce back to trade. See, yeah, I told you there's a lot of things. It's very complicated. There's a lot going on. So let's get ourselves a trade route, and let's have a look, say, at grain. Because grain is good. If we import grain, a local population growth of plus 0.10%. Now, that's not that much. But, you know, it's better than nothing. And that's quite good, because that's 0.05. That's 0.05. So we might as well get some grain. If we can't do much else, let's actually get some grain in to get everybody growing quicker, because then more pops is more people working and more people generating resources and gold and tax and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, let's go for some grain. Now, where are these? Where are all you people? They like us, positive 10, negative 3. We have at least one more positive than negative for an acceptance. We currently have 7. They don't care about us in Dumnomnia. Where's Dumnomnia? Oh, they're down here. They're just down here in Cornwall, essentially. Okay, yeah, I'll go for that. I'll absolutely go for that, apart from I've just messed that up. Let's go for a trade route of grain with Dumnomnia. Yeah, okay, so it's cost us 25 civic power, which is good that we didn't spend the 100 on technology, because that's quite useful now. And we'll get ourselves plus 2 gold per month, and population growth goes up by 0.1 of a percent. Well, 0.1, yes, of a percent. So, okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's do that. So, right, and that's our trade route done, and that applies to everything. That applies to everything up here. So this is the capitals trade route and all that kind of stuff. Now over here, they do not have trade routes. They can't have a trade route. Perhaps it's because either there's no capital or there's no market or whatever. I don't know. Again, not entirely sure how these sort of different district bits work in terms of our kingdom or whatever. But right. So now I think we need to start looking over here to take some territory. Because that's what this game is all about. It's all about expanding. And if we want to get our hands on the whole country and unite it, we need to go and do that soon. So let's go to here. Let's go to Lactodorum, which is toaster. That's toaster. And people from around here will be going, yes, toaster. American people might be going, or other people around the world might be going, there's a place called Toaster. It's not spelt toaster like a thing you would brown bread in. It's spelt with a C. It's very old. Don't worry about it. So how about over here? We build ourselves some units. So I think the way it works is if you have imported in a certain type of thing, it means you can build units. You don't have to have them within that particular city area. If your nation is importing in camels, for example, which would be a lot of fun having camels wandering around the East Midlands, then you can therefore build camelries. Now, we can't build any of these. I mean, war elephants. Can I import some elephants and just get some war elephants on the go? That would be great. So we're limited to these. We can build archers, chariots, heavy cavalry, mounted skirmishers, or skirmishers. Okay. If we're going to have a fight with these guys, let's just check them out. So let's open their diplomacy screen. So what have they got? I mean, apart from a fabulous beard, that puts my beard to shame. My character is such a shambles. Our leader is terrible. This guy's beard, look at it. Look at how lovely the beard is. Now, quite a lot of manpower. They have 9 cohorts. That's 9 units, essentially. And a couple of boats. Now, we don't have any boats, I don't think. I'm not too bothered about that right now. They've got 8 cities and 35 population. So what we could do is, we could go into here and start making a claim on their territory. But I think we should get some units built first. But they've only got 9. So if we use these guys... That is already, so yeah, a cohort is about 1,000 people. So we've got 13 already. 7,000 plus 6,000 is 13,000. I did that math in my head, everybody. So if we just add a few more, I think that could be quite good. And then you can see down here as well what they're broken down into. If we click on, oh no, there you go. You have to sort of just roll over it, I think. So they've got 4 cohorts in there, which is just 2 archers and 2, whatever those shieldy thingamabobs are. What are they, skirmishers? Yes, 2 skirmishers. So how about, are archers good against skirmishers? Don't know. Doesn't say. Archers damage versus everything except skirmishers. It seems to be in there. In fact, there's no damage against skirmishers in any way in there. It doesn't tell you. Damage versus archers, camel, cavalry, chariots, heavy cavalry, heavy. Yeah, there's nothing about skirmishers. Oh, well, never mind. Maybe they're fine. They're just cannon fodder or something. I don't know. Arrow fodder. How about we get ourselves some heavy cavalry? It costs 1.21 to maintain because, again, we're a tribe, and I think it's a lot more expensive to maintain your units when you're a tribe. Because they're all kind of just lawless brigands, I imagine. If you're in sort of a proper organised structure, there would be some sort of organisation to this. But because we're just tribespeople, it's a little bit sort of ramshackle. So I guess that's why it costs a lot. So let's do this. Let's get some heavy cavalry. Let's get 1,000 heavy cavalry in. So it's going to cost 1,000 manpower. We've got that and loads more as well. So we'll grab that. That comes down to 16,500, which is a bit of a surprise because it said it will cost 1,000 manpower to recruit. That's come down far more than I thought it was going to. But we're training some heavy cavalry, and let's get ourselves a couple of units of archers. They're always a good stock thing to have. So a couple of units of archers down to 14,500. That's good. And then what about something else? What about mounted skirmishers? So some light cavalry. We've got heavy cavalry. Why don't we have some light cavalry? That could be quite good. So they're good at fighting archers and chariots. And they've got archers and skirmishers. Yeah, let's get one unit of mounted skirmishers, because that'd be nice and quick as well. And then that might be it. So that's going to cost us 6 gold base to just sort of get. And then half a gold every month. Ouch. Okay, yeah, it's worth it. Let's get some people in. Right, okay, lovely. So they will slowly be trained up over here in Lactodorum. Let's now move time on. I think this thing here is nagging at our research is terrible. Yes, it is terrible. I know that much. It's fine. It's all good. There is something else we could do, but I think it's too expensive. Let's go to here. Yeah, here. You can have ideas. So your guy can have some ideas for what he wants for the nation. And then if you match them up, so if there's a list of ideas in here. So if you pick a military idea in the military slot and an oratory idea in the oratory slot, you get this bonus, which would be really useful for us. Because currently the bonus is inactive, but if we did have it, we'd get a civilization level of plus 10%, which is a good thing for us. But also we'd get an extra point for him of the military thing, the civic thing, the oratory thing, and the religious thing. Because bear in mind how terrible he is. That would be great. But I think these are relatively expensive. Yes, they're 50. They're 50 apiece. How expensive is it to fabricate a claim upon the place where the iron is? Let's have a little look. Covert actions. It's 200. It's 200. Okay, wow. Yeah, it's a good job we didn't go and spend that, to be honest. And that's it. We're going to spend that, and then we won't be able to do anything for a long, long time after that, because that guy is so terrible that he won't generate much. 2 per month. Oh, he's just an embarrassment. Can somebody assassinate him, please? Can I arrange for somebody to go and kill him, please? So let's fabricate a claim on Icenia. Let's have a little go at that and go, there you go. I've fabricated a claim on the province of Icenia, sort of just over there. So that'll do. So all of this place. What's the green there? I'm not entirely sure. But okay, 35 pops. Yeah, on the province of Icenia. Yes, please. So that's a province. Right, okay. Right. I need to kind of get my head around that a little bit. Yes, there. We have a claim on the province of Icenia. We can now attack Icenia and be sort of justified. So, yeah, they're on their way. But we need these troops to be built first. Now, let's get you guys and let's move those over there. So they will slowly move there. That arrow fills up the nearer they are to actually moving over. So this line here will then be defended, which is always a good thing. Right, let's just go across the top, just make sure we've done everything. So, yeah, there's our government. They're looking pretty good. Military, you can choose barbarian traditions, which is good. So it makes the military stronger. But they're 800 military cost. We've only got 200, so we can't do that. Tech, we can't do. Religion, we've done and we can't do any more. Economy is all to do with, you know, sort of maintenance of things and paying people. But we can't change these, I don't think, at the moment. I don't think we can do anything with them. Wages is what we pay our sort of people on the government. But again, I'm just going to leave these as they are for now. Diplomacy tells us all about our other people and our friends and stuff. It might be a good idea to get some allies, possibly. How about we go to you, Dabunia, Donwen Bolger. How about, would you like an alliance? Oh, you would. It's got a green ticky thing on offer alliance. If a country accepts our alliance offer, it may assist us during wars. We, of course, will be sucked into their wars, but I think to have them on board, that could be quite good. Yeah, let's offer you guys an alliance. So you like us because of the same religion, diplomatic reputation because the guy is an idiot who can't talk is -3, but okay, hopefully you'll go for that. And they have. The tribal chief accepted our offer to enter into a military alliance due to their own choice. What does that mean, due to their own choice? Oh, maybe if they're like a vassal or something, their sort of overlord makes that decision for them. I don't know. But yep, so we have ourselves an ally. These guys are our allies. And I think that's everything else done. This is the trade overview. That's characters. These are all the people that are involved in our sort of council. And there's all families. They're all in the government. There you go. Show families. Look. So this is our family here. Oh, there's a little baby there. Little baby. Is it a girl? Yeah, baby girl. That's nice. And then a guy with kind of wiggly hair. And still not a good moustache. We don't have good moustaches in this family, do we? Oh, this might be worth looking at. You can make certain decisions. And I don't think we want to do this. So we could abandon our sedentary lifestyle. So then we go back to being a migratory tribe. I don't know if we necessarily want to do that particularly. Here we can embrace autocracy. So we've got a certain set of conditions. And one of those is our civilization level, which we have seen things increasing. You know, we've seen various bits and bobs that can increase the civilization level. If we have that to a certain limit, and we've got other conditions as well to do with various people and stuff, we could then go to an autocratic monarchy. We could change over to a monarchy. This thing here has another set of conditions. And what's that? Civilization level again to 50. We could then turn into a democratic republic if we want. We can change that round again. So we can become different kind of governments, which I do quite like. However, these last two are very exciting. Let's zoom out. We could, if you want, unite Britannia, which is all of those, which seems to be England and Wales. I've never heard the word Britannia before. I didn't know that was a word used to sort of to refer to England and Wales. Or the big one, which is our ultimate goal. We could unite Albion, which is all of them. It's Scotland, Wales, England, and all of the Ireland all together. That's very exciting. So it changes the name to Albion, but I think we have to have all of those things. We have to have any province city in all of those places. And we have to be either a monarchy or a republic. So we need to do one of those first to then start doing some of these things. I really like that. Oh no, so to unite Britannia, we don't have to. We need to be a tribe. Coritania is a tribe. Oh, that's exciting. So yes, we need to do this as a tribe. And once we're united there, we then need to upgrade to either an autocracy or a democracy and then go and get Albion. Oh, that's very exciting. But yeah, that's what we're going to do for there. But right now, I think we can finally move time on and get these troops built. So time is slowly ticking over. And just say slowly, it's going over fairly quickly, to be fair. I mean, that is a fairly quick turnaround. So let's have a look what our actual setup is now in terms of taxes. And then get to the end of the month and it will tell us. So we now have 4.25 in taxes that we earn. We also get a tiny little bit 0.2 from commerce because we are doing that trading of wheat with Cornwall down in the corner, but we are paying 0.93 in wages. And now, oh, hang on, let's pause it. There we go. I was going to say army maintenance should then appear because these guys are going to want some maintenance. So yeah, we're paying 1.21 already. It's so expensive. And we've only got 1,000 people. They are very good. They are the heavy cavalry, which is very, very good. But yeah, that's a lot of money. And then we've got a little thing popping up here. We've got something to do there. We'll do that in a second. Oh, the Icenies would like an alliance. Perhaps not. We will auto decline if we ignore them. I'm going to decline that. I'm going to kindly decline your offer, my good sirs. I mean, I would love to, but I also would love to take all your territory off you and stamp you into the ground and take this place particularly because they've got iron here. And I think that could be quite useful. Iron will be a good thing to have because then we can make heavy infantry and that's really good. Right, this thing here means that this warband down here that we've just created do not have a commander. They've got no leader. And obviously they need a leader to tell them what to do. So let's go and pick a leader for our first warband. Lactodorum's first war band. It sounds like a terrible sort of heavy thrash metal rock band name. Hello, everybody. We are Lactodorum's first war band. But there we go. This is it. And we've got to pick ourselves a commander. So this just gives us information about that particular sort of military unit. At the moment, there's just 1,000 heavy cavalry in there, and that's it. So let's give these guys a commander. So we can choose from all these people. Now you, Brenwyn Correa, you look quite interesting indeed, because you have the martial ability of 9, which means you're a very, very good general. You're quite loyal to me, so there's a loyalty value. So that is loyal to me, which is important. Of course, that goes down. That means they're more likely to try and stab me in the back and ignore me and all that kind of stuff. And I think across here, you've got no kind of traits. Now, Bilica Vodanosa here has a number of traits. She's kindly, she's corrupt. Oh, good. That's great. And she's aggressive. So, yeah, so she has got some effects if she's a commander. She's good at commanding camels. I don't know how quite you stumbled across that living in the East Midlands of England. But okay, you're good at camel discipline, and you're good at light cavalry discipline. Yeah, let's go for you. I'm going to pick you because you're very, very good. What's that 10 there? Corruption. Oh, you're really corrupt. Yeah, I don't know if I want you. Bilica Vodanosa, you're hugely corrupt. Let's pick Brenwyn Correa. So we'll pick you. Absolutely. You are now leading this warband. You're the general. That is lovely. Right, move time back on. So they're building these archers. And then we need to declare war. And I just want to get this. I want to get this territory under our control and then sue for peace, because then that will give us iron. And that's brilliant. We need iron. So if we can take the iron off them, that'd be really good. And then using that iron, we could then go through, auto-saving, a little bit of lag. We can then go through and build ourselves some heavy infantry. And that gives us a better chance of defending ourselves when they inevitably come back and try and take their territory off them. So, you know, there's sort of a plan, a vague kind of loose plan that's probably not very good, but it's a plan. Okay, the archers are done. We are just waiting for the final bit of light cavalry to come in. I think they're going to be done any second. Yay, right, okay. So we've got ourselves a number of units and they are poised to attack. I don't know where their defences are. I don't know where their military units are. These guys are available at the back because these guys are going to go in and do an attack. So let's begin our first little land grab, shall we? I think this could be quite fun. So let's open what we're going to laughably call diplomacy, because all I'm going to do is run in and go, I'm going to kill you, and then run off. Let's declare war, and we now have ourselves the war goal of take Icenia. Now that's quite a big war goal, because that's a large area. Good lord. However, we can call upon our Dabunian allies, which is lovely. However, they also have some allies. They've got an ally down there and an ally here. So they've got Cantiasia. Let's just zoom out a little bit there. So they've got Cantiasia, so the southeast basically, and then the ones underneath them. Right, they've got quite a few as well. Maybe, could we have a chat with you guys? Open diplomacy. Would you like to be in an alliance with us? Duratriga. That'd be great, because then these guys might go and attack you, leaving me to go and attack the Icenians, which is what I want to do. So, okay, would you like an alliance? Yes, you would. Oh, marvellous. Okay, right. So now we are allied with them, and then there's us. So we've kind of got the middle of the country. We've kind of got this sort of spine of the country. Now let's go to here. Open diplomacy. Declare a war. And we shall summon... we have a diplomat en route. Will arrive on the 15th of April. Right. Okay, let's wait until the 15th of April, shall we? Because I don't really want to go into combat without those guys. I want those on board. Oh, they've also got boats. They've got boats. They could attack like ships and ports and things. They could go out and do stuff on the coast. Right, 15th of April. Time does roll round quite quickly. Okay, 15th of April. Our diplomat should be there now going, hey, friends, how are you? How's the alliance? Oh, by the way, we're going to go and declare war on somebody. Please join in. So now we can declare war. You two can hopefully join in. The goal is to take Icenia and okay. We're going to declare war using that war goal. We've got our sort of Casus Belli thing. We've got our claim fabricated and in. Okay, let's do it. Right, Dabunia has honoured the alliance and has joined our invincible armies. Yeah, okay, right. Maybe calm down a bit. Icenia, Cantassia and Trinovinantia. Okay, so they're at war with those. And the others have joined in as well. So Duratriga down the south have also joined in. Okay, right. Let's go into here. You lot traipse into there. You lot traipse into there. Let's see what happens. Now, where are their troops? I don't know how seeing the troops works. There's a unit there of Tritavantians. So that's these guys down here. But I don't know where theirs are. Ah, right there. There's 8,000 of them just there. Maybe we bring you guys down into here as well, just to support them. So we can have 3 units on the same place, I think. So let's go through and just try and take this place. Now, at the moment, what they're doing is they're having a bit of a siege, which is lovely. So if we go down here, the occupation... Oh, it's just an occupation. It's not even a siege. There's nothing going on. So 30 days' time, we are going to have this place. So we're taking this off them. We've ran in. We've gone, this is ours. Bye. We're just taking it off them. So there's no sort of anything. There's nothing to siege. So that now is provisionally ours, which is very, very exciting. Okay, that's good. They are training some warriors. Now that is unfortunate. That's heavy infantry. We need to get in here as soon as we can, I think. Right. This could be interesting. Right, you march in. Absolutely. And you guys are coming into here. Okay. Ooh, a religious proceeding. So we'll get these things popping up as well. Little sort of things that we have to deal with. A struggle between the religious echelons of our society and the peasants. Ooh, the peasants has recently come into light as the populace at large felt like the religious ceremonies are inaccessible and distant. On the other hand, our high priest and his attendants demand the distance needed to their jobs properly and argue possibly the peasants have no right to the inner workings of our religious ceremonies. So we have to choose. The priests get left alone. We lose 1 stability. Ouch. That's quite difficult. National unrest goes up. Our omens become quite powerful for a little bit, but that's a little bit rubbish. A religious proceeding through the city will appease both sides. So the high priest gets a bit of loyalty and we get some religious power, or we gain 1 stability. Our omens become slightly less powerful and they don't last as long, and our high priest loses loyalty. 1 stability point could be quite useful though, but that means our high priest will lose 20 loyalty down to 55. I don't really like the sound of that. Let's go through the lovely middle ground. We get 25 religious power. The priest becomes a tiny, tiny bit more loyal to us, and everybody is all very jolly. Hooray! Right, we've sorted that out. Okay, right, unpause time, sorry. Let's move these guys into here. Those guys should be going into there. We need to get into there. Oh! And a son has been born to our tribal chief. He's probably better at talking than the tribal chief is. And he's a member of that family and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we are taking this place off them very, very quickly. Hopefully we'll be able to take it off them before they then finish recruiting those warriors. 6 days, 5 days. Oh, it's going to be a bit touch and go. Okay, no, we've got it. We've taken that place off them, which is brilliant. However, now the Iceni troops are just here. They are next to us. We could do with getting you guys running into here, which is fine. And then maybe we can start making our way over that way. And we could have all of that as ours. So for the minute, I think these guys, where are they going? Can we tell where they're going? No, we can't, unfortunately. I guess they're going to come into this territory. I guess they're going to come into here. Right, these guys here start taking a bit of territory off there. They've combined their armies together, have they? So they've got a couple of retinues going on. Now, where are they going to go? Back into here? We need to kill some of their troops, ideally. That would be nice. So, right. Let's get you to go to there. Who are you? Right, you're from here as well. You're the Tritantanovians from underneath here. We don't like you much either. Let's grab you. Go back up there. You need to go up there anyway to then move on to these other places. So, you lot, you lovely lot, 9,190, go into here. Now, do we need to get some more troops? We've got plus 1.16. What you can do is you can just say, I would like to recruit some people to this army, which is lovely. So you don't have to train them sort of over here and move them around. You just say, yes, I'd like some more people, please. And they just magically appear, which is brilliant. So what do we got? 1.16 per month. How about we get ourselves some, what are they made of? What's in there? They've got themselves 2 archers and 2 skirmishers. They're just archers and skirmishers. What is good against archers? What's good against archers? What can we find that works? So the heavy cavalry, or even the mounted skirmishers. Let's get another unit of mounted skirmishers on the way to these guys, and we'll see what happens. What is that? What was that little green thing? Don't know what that was. Oh, there's a thing there. A battle will begin here between Corytania and Iceni. Oh, that's us. It's very likely our side will lose. Oh, that's not very good. Our side 3. Oh, right, hang on. You guys, go and help out over here. Go and join in the fight, please. That could be good. Our side might win. It's unclear which side might win. Traximilla Verdensius has sent word he has fallen ill. Perhaps if he is wealthy enough, he will seek treatment of his own violation. Otherwise, we could step in if his condition worsens. So Taxim Maglius, the war chief, who's on our council, has gained inflammation. Well, lucky him. Isn't that nice? Right. They have wandered in here. They're trying to take this back, the scoundrels. Right. And now a fight is on between our people and their people, I believe. So which ones are us? I think Coritania, they're ours. We're woefully outnumbered. How long are you going to take to arrive? It'd be really good if you could come in like the cavalry. Yes, you've just arrived at the end like the cavalry to give us a great big boost. That's brilliant, because I think one of our retinues is dead. I think they are very much dead. Okay, but now we should win this war, and that will absolutely hammer their troops apart. 5-6, 5-4, 5-2. We're also losing quite a lot, but they are being very, very, very much murdered. Okay, yeah, this is going well. This is going well. We are victorious. So we lost about 5,000 troops. We killed half of theirs. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, right, where do they go? Like, what do they do afterwards? I don't know kind of where they go. Now, in this situation, do we do this now? If we say open diplomacy and sue for peace, we haven't got enough. Is this war score? So how much war score do we have? This is where I get a little bit lost with this. I need to figure out how this works. Hang on. Oh, this is referring to the other places because we're at war with all those other places as well. It's saying, yes, you need to have all these other places under your control. So the only one we want really is over here. So we need to make our way through Icenia and Icenia to Coritania. We need to make our way through to Venta over here and take this capital city just here. That's what we need to do. I suspect we might need some more troops to do so because we're going to walk through here. We'll take this probably. We could try and take that, but then we are going to be a little bit on the back foot. I think we've lost quite a lot of people. We might need to restock those. We've got enough manpower to do it, I think. But yes, we need to go through and take that. And this place is somewhere else. So Cantiacian is another one of their allies, I think. And these are the Trintovans, whatever that's called. So what do they want for that one? The capital Camuladunum. Ah, yes, they want me to take that. If I want that as part of the peace treaty. I don't care about that at the minute. I just want this bit. I want this bit over here. That would be great. But do you know what? I think, let's cancel that for now. Let's leave it there for now. I like the fact that we're having a bit of a scrap, but I think a lot's gone on. A lot has happened in this particular sort of, in this first part of this. And yeah, I think it might be time for a break, just to sort of, to let it all settle in, let your brains digest what's going on. Because goodness me, my brain needs to digest some of this because there's just so much. There is so much happening. There's a lot going on in this game, and yeah, it's just huge. So I think this is a good time to have a little break, and we'll come back to it again at some point in the near future, and we'll see if we can go over here and capture Venta and then sue for peace and have some lovely peace with everybody and not be at war, and then we can maybe get on with doing some nice peaceful things rather than going around stamping on people, because that seems a little bit mean. But then they do have shiny iron, and I like iron because it makes nice military fighty things to do more stamping on heads. But yes, we'll see if we can get there first. And if not, who knows? Who knows what will happen with the Coritani? Will they get slaughtered by everyone else coming to attack them if we lose all our troops? I do not know. But yes, please come back next time to find out. Hopefully you did enjoy this. Apologies, it's a little bit sort of wordy and there was quite a lot of sort of preamble. But as you can see, there's a billion numbers all over the screen. Everything is controlled by numbers and values and choices and decisions and everything. So yes, apologies if it did take a little while to actually get on with it. But now, we're getting on with it now and that's all fine. Hopefully you did enjoy it though. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be splendid. And also please do subscribe if you are not already, to keep up to date with how we get on here in uniting the not very at the moment United Kingdom in Imperator Rome. But for now, thank you very much for joining me in the Geek Cupboard, and I will see you next time. The city of Cupboard, it can be full of geeks, very loyal geeks to me. It's this sort of stripy hill. That's interesting. Oh, a stripy mountain. Sorry, I downgraded you to a hill. Just really irritate the Norwegians. Everyone had gold. People were lying on beds of gold. They were eating gold. They were trying to wash their hair with gold. There was gold literally everywhere in our empire.